Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Saturday night. Welcome back to RomHack Races. It's good to see you. I hope you are feeling well, warm, cozy, relaxed on this chilly winter's evening. We've got some fun for you tonight, and I am really excited to bring it to you. It is week 369. Nice around here. And man, we got a doozy for you tonight. IkeSMB, the champion player, champion of multiple games, multiple tech disciplines, an all-around amazing player and maker, has come to us tonight with something that is really going to blow your mind. This is, as perhaps you can see from the intro screen, a cape level. And we've got some big difficulty rankings for this tonight, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Welcome. It's RomHack Races. Every Saturday night we have a never-before-seen Super Mario World Kaizo level, raced by some of the best, played by some of the best, watched by the best. That's you. And we're all going to have some fun seeing what these racers do with it. They, the racers, have never seen the level before. They don't know what they're in for. They're just going to have to use the skills they've already got or learn some new ones along the way. Tonight's level is rated. That's the one thing the racers do know. Rated by the testers. Electronic Logic and Gossip Greg rated this one this week, and we've got a 9 out of 10 for execution and a 7 out of 10 for complexity. So, some big numbers. And with Cape, you know that a 9 out of 10 Cape is going to be pretty challenging. And that might be what has summoned some of these Cape gamers over here. We've got 4 signups tonight. An intimidating level, but it's nice to see some friends come out and give this one a try. Bunky D. Luffy, Flips Bad, Roke Games, and X Gamer 2009 have all signed up for this, and we've got all 4 of them on the screen at present, or we will when Roke wants to jump online and get ready to go. Flips in the upper left, X Gamer, Bunky down there at the bottom, and Roke. We're gonna have some fun. I want to say a real quick thanks to the ever-kind Osu Mario Cartman for helping us restream tonight, pressing the buttons, making everything look really good for you. And of course, we've got What's Up Dot and Starlord. We love our trans comrades. And also, Captain Blueprint too, scouting, watching all of the racers and letting us know who to rotate in. Their job is going to be a little easier tonight with those 4 racers. We're all scouts tonight. But thank you so much for dropping by and helping us out with that. And you in chat, if you're here to support your friends, please feel free to make some noise in chat, put their emotes up. If you don't have their emotes, consider going and getting them. And we are just about ready to start in just a few. In just a few seconds. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm Glitch Cat. Hi, I'll bring you the play-by-play. If you want to learn something, ask it in chat. And if you really want, you can go on over to romhackraces.com. But it's 3, 2, 1 video games. Let's go. Night Partridge from IkeSMB. The slowest bird flight speed ever, 5 miles an hour, performed by the American woodcock, locally called the mudbat. Timberdoodle or Night Partridge. Ah, Timberdoodle. Oh, excuse me. Yes, there is one section. Only one section. Yes. Yeah, so we get some cape. Oh, Flips going right into this. Okay, yeah, we get some info, little practice room. The racers also know that there are practice sections. Yeah, we've got practice rooms. So X Gamer in the upper right, hanging out in this practice section, and looks like Flips and Bunky D Luffy down here in the lower right, getting right into the action. So we're gonna hang out. We're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be a cozy time, and we're gonna learn about Cape. There is a lot to learn about Cape, and I hope, perhaps, that some Cape enthusiasts in chat will correct me if I'm giving out erroneous information. But we're learning a little bit right off the bat here. Yeah, we're going to switch over to that 3, wait for Roke to get online. Yeah, we're going to learn a little bit right off the bat here. Cape. It's a big subject, and it's fun. We've kind of summoned Flips tonight. She is one of the preeminent Cape players out there on the scene today, and we're gonna see some cool stuff, so keep your eyes open. First things first, Cape has a lot of different things, and Cape tech in particular can be a little bit esoteric because you don't always see what you're doing. Again, this level is going to go a little slower, I think. You know, Cape is inherently a little bit of a slower mechanic than maybe Shells or P-Speed or something. But you don't always see what you're doing. Let's take, for example, Shell Tech. We all know about shell jumps. Throw the shell against the wall, get a bounce from it. You can see that very clearly, right? You can look at it. There it is. You bounce the shell. You got the jump. Good job. Good for you. Cape doesn't quite work that way. Cape is involved with a lot of different states of being, and timings that you just kind of have to know. So let's start with what we're looking at here. Normally, it is possible to run and get P-Speed, jump up in the air. We're holding the Y button and jump with the B button, and now we're flying. With the cape puffed out like this. And this is the primary cape that we're going to see in this level tonight. We're going to see the cape poofed out. It makes that big, puffy parachute shape behind Mario. And that is sort of, I guess you could call it B flight. Fortunately for us in this level, Ike has kindly just allowed us to have that right out of the pipe. So instead of needing to run and get P-Speed, we can, like, as you're seeing from XGamer, right, they're running and getting P-Speed, and then jumping up into the air. Watch XGamers in the upper right-hand corner. But as opposed to needing to do that, we just have flight right out of the gate. So we're starting out this with takeoff meter, we're starting out with flight, and they just fall right out of the pipe onto the feather, and now we're flying with cape. Just a little bit of a convenience for the level to just get things going immediately. Okay, now, when you are flying with cape under normal circumstances, you are moving forward, right? And I'm gonna use this distinction, forward and backward, right? Now, what I could mean is left and right, but I think it's more helpful to describe this and think about it as being forward and backward. Okay, so think about regular Mario World. Just ignore this, well, don't ignore the level for a second, but ignore what we're learning here for a second. Think about regular Mario World. You're flying with the cape, you are moving forward. The cape is puffed out behind you, and you are in that flight state. Pressing backwards is paradoxically what causes you to move forward. Every time Mario's head, you're moving to the right, you have rightward momentum. Now Mario's head, watch his head. It's up, and then it dips down. And then it comes up again, and it dips down. Every time Mario's head dips down, you press backwards. In this case, the racers are pressing left to get that to happen. It's opposite the direction of motion. It would be right if they were moving left, and left if they are moving right. Hang in there, it's tricky. So every time the Mario's head drops down, they are pressing left. That gets them a little bit of a lift, and they can continue flying, and they kind of bob along like that, going burp, 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 burp. And let's see if Flips can finish this level before I'm even done explaining it. Keep your eyes up on the upper left-hand corner. In terms of the race, Flips, again, one of the preeminent Cape players of our age, and she is just really, really, really talented. Everyone is really good. You're gonna see some good players race against other good players, but sort of like like in Lord of the Rings when they summon the Balrog in Moria, Flips has heard the call of Cape and has joined us tonight, so we're very grateful for that. But yeah, so you got that backwards press, and you're going burp, 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 and that's what keeps you in the air. That's what keeps you flying. Now, you might be wondering how the racers are moving backwards. We're starting out, we're falling down that orange pipe, right? And then they actually kind of move to the left a little bit, but they're still facing right. How does that work? Well, this is where we depart from what you could call Nintended Cape. That is about all that Nintendo had for you to do with the cape, right? Like, that's it. In Vanilla Mario World, all you will ever need to do is jump up in the air and press backwards to go burp, 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 and keep flying. That's it. Thank you for the resubs, raids, and stuff as well. Really, really appreciate that. Anonymous Gifter and Citrus. Excuse me. Thank you so much. So, Nintended Cape ends there. However, for whatever reason, unbeknownst to humankind, there is just more stuff you can do. You would never need to use it in the vanilla game, but yet here we are. Why the cape is so incredibly nuanced like this, who can say? It's a mystery, but nonetheless it exists. And flips, unbelievable. Flips in the upper left-hand corner, making quick work. So you're going to see some backwards movement here. How does that work? As you are holding backwards, if you tap the B button, oh my gosh, flips. Whew. Flips. Keep your eyes on the upper left. Huge progress from Flips. She's going to finish this before I even explain it all. But as you tap the B button and hold backwards while you're flying, you slow down. You may tap forward at the right moment and speed yourself up. And in so doing, there is a kind of a speed throttle for the horizontal movement of cape. And you see that in the vanilla speedrun in particular. They want to get fast fly. They want to be, you can tap forward and fly a little faster than you normally can. Here we're doing the opposite. What's basically happening is you can slow yourself down with the cape so much that you now have negative forward speed, causing you to move backwards. So when you see the racers, they're going to be like, watch Flips here. She's going to tap B, she's going to hold left and tap B, right up off that Koopa, bouncing on the Koopa, and then tapping B to move backwards, right? Get that negative speed. And then very quickly, tapping forward again to get positive speed and keep moving to the right. Hold B, or hold left, tap B, go to the left, but don't actually turn around. Hold forward, or sorry, tap forward, now you're moving forward again. It's as though Mario has a little bit of like you're on the ground, right? You press forward, you press back, you move left and right. It's the same thing here. Does that make sense? I want to pause for a minute and just make sure that everyone is kind of keeping up with this cape tech. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to shout it out. This is one of those levels where I am doing my best to kind of catch everybody up on the mechanics. And what I mean by that is, I want to teach you how this works, and I also want to highlight just how difficult what you're looking at actually is. There will be an exam later. Are the death blocks custom? No, they're the tile that the swapping power-up is contained in. They're the transparent block from the vanilla game. But they will kill you if you touch them immediately. Yeah, so now that you understand what we're doing to move backwards and forwards, right? Again, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. We're dealing with that fire flower. That is an obstacle. So straight out the pipe, we're gonna hold back. We're gonna hold backwards, tap B a little bit, get some negative speed, and then quickly correct that after floating through that one tile gap. Then it is a tight maneuver over the top of the fire flower. You don't want to touch the fire flower because you can't fly anymore, then you just die. It's a tight maneuver over the top of that fire flower and onto the two little naked Koopas. We're going to hold B to get a high bounce off those naked Koopas. The bones that you're seeing will not hurt Mario, but the gray kind of glass-looking blocks will. Those are death blocks. So Mario can rub up against the wall in that moment and not die. There's Flips showing us how that's done, and Flips kind of getting up that chute. And so now Flips in the upper left, very far ahead. Flips navigating between these moving layer 2, and that means we're going to have careful speed control. So you see Flips really slowing down, flying very slowly, and then backing up with that B tap and hold left at the appropriate moment to maintain position. Flips coming up on a new obstacle here, upper left-hand corner. She is just flying away with this one tonight. And getting that negative speed first try. Easy money for Flips. And that's what you're basically seeing in terms of speed control in this level. And actually, that's kind of it. There is more cape tech. Oh, believe me, there is so much more cape tech. but we don't necessarily, we're not seeing it yet. Cape is, it's tense, yeah. Cape is tense. All the cape mechanics are vanilla. For those of you who already know the things that I'm talking about, this is just vanilla cape mechanics. It is vanilla turnaround. I am trying to keep it a little bit simple for friends who might not understand, and only kind of explaining what needs to be explained in order to make this level transparent, I suppose, for people. Feel free to discuss advanced cape tech in chat, and we can get into a little bit of that later. I am kind of watching for friends racers here to do some kind of cape move that would bear explaining, but as long as you understand that we're pumping, pressing backwards to pump, and using forward taps to gain speed to the right, and holding left and tapping B at the right moment to gain negative speed, and move to the left without changing the direction that we're facing. That is the primary skill that we're all using here. Yeah, there's a lot more going on under the hood that Flips in particular is doing, but Ike designed the level such that the nitty-gritty tech isn't actually required. Yes, that is completely true. Ike, a very talented player in his own respect, and yeah, there's Flips is going kind of above and beyond and doing some more advanced kind of things, but yeah, in general, we don't necessarily need that, but it can help in a pinch. Yeah, 0 speed, can't gain height, will fall. You know, I'd say I want to also, you know, make sure to highlight, you know, XGamer, Bunky, and Roke out here, also doing really well with this. Roke in the lower right, in particular, I've seen making some tight moves. This is Flips. We have summoned we have lit the Batgirl signal and summoned Flips with capes. Flips, notably the maker of gemstones. Excuse me. Go and check out gemstones on SMW Central. That's Flips's cape level. It is spectacular and involves some tech that I think is like no one even knows about. So. You're talking about double pumps. Yeah, I see that in chat. Double pumps are kind of fun. We don't necessarily need them here, but they could come into play. It's a kind of a move that a racer might use in order to save themselves if they do in a tight situation. True, yeah, free verse for Sarah also Flips's is his other cape adventure. Oh, yo, thank you for the link. Yeah, yo, if you want to see some just pure unadulterated cape sickoisms, yeah, click that link and check out gemstones from Flips. XGamer, Bunky, and Roke over here also making good moves. Remember, we are, as I know you know, we are here to cheer on all of our friends. So, you know, it is the players versus the level, not necessarily a race. That's just the wrapping paper for this. Sometimes we have an easier level on ROM hack races, and sometimes we have this. I think that variance is fun. You never know what you're gonna get, and I really especially like that we get to let the makers show off their abilities. You know, Ike, we've seen Ike race with us many times, and you know, here's Ike showing what they value. You know, you see someone's level, you see what they value, you see what they care about, what they like, and I like that. You know, I like that whole situation. You can kind of read somebody's mind through what they make in Mario. We have had some standard gauntlets, not necessarily Hyper 6 caliber difficulty. Well, like endgame, like that which can, we haven't had like that which can eternal die caliber. at a certain point, you know, we are trying to have a level that could feasibly be beaten in 2 hours at whatever skill level. Frankly, I don't think it will take Flips and some of these other racers 2 hours, you know, more than 2 hours to beat this level. But yeah, we have had some standard gauntlets, not necessarily on that level, but there have been some tough ones. I've always said, actually, the next time we have a standard gauntlet, I want to race. So I'm waiting for the next big standard gauntlet to race it. Yo, Roke, getting a little bit farther. Yo, saw that progress from Roke in the lower right-hand corner. But so otherwise, if you know how the speed throttling is working, otherwise this pretty self-explanatory kind of stuff. Right, we're avoiding the red spike tops. We're bouncing on the Koopas to get a little bit of extra height in those tight corridors. And when we get to the kicking Koopa, we just want to hit the block, the question block below the kicking Koopa. That will allow the Koopa to walk forward and kick that shell into the 2 bucket, which has been pretty deadly so far. I think Flips is the only racer right now to have gotten to the 2 bucket, but others not so far behind, so keep it up, keep it up. Oh, Flips. Oh, thank you so much, Osu, for restreaming and for resubbing. Man, how kind of you. Off the top of my head, I don't know this song, but maybe somebody else will. This is cave music from Dragon Quest V. I will take your word for it. I really, you know, this level I think does a really good job of highlighting the subtlety of intense cape skill. Whereas other bits of tech in SMW are just, I guess, more blunt. Look, you know, shell tech, you're constantly bopping, bouncing, and throwing shells around. Platforming tech, you're jumping and spinning and moving and landing and running really quick and all these things. Flips also, check out the upper right, getting to PB for Flips. But this level does a really good job of showing just how subtle cape tech really is. Cape tech is all about subtlety and about pressing, you know, holding backwards and pressing B to slow down at just the right moment. Making sure that you tap backwards at just the right moment in order to get the cape pump. Really small frame windows to do a lot of things. Looks like Flips might be thinking to try something here. Okay, Flips, yeah, the disco shell now kind of stuck in that hole, but Flips, yeah, clearly sees. Oh, yeah, and okay, so that's what we're talking about. That's the skill that we're talking about from Flips, actually being able to get back down there and dive again. It looks like the Koopa that jumps into the disco shell isn't going to respawn, though. But that's what yo! I thought, okay. She had it, though. That was a dive and like a wall-based air catch to get up that channel. Yeah, she almost had it without it. Amazing. Yeah, so air catch, suffice to say, is a tricky way of basically flying, permanently ascending up a gap like that, as long as you are brushed up against a wall. I really can't explain why it works. I just know what to do, which is sort of press forward at the right time to continually permanently ascend up a channel like that. Flips dang nearly got that from a dive into the air catch. Yeah, air is a sticky fly along a vertical wall. Yeah, which really clears it up, doesn't it? But no, thank you for that. That's instructive. Probably few people would even try to bust that trick out to save that situation. But Flips, yeah, going for it. The real mystery of Cape is why there's even so much tech for it in the first place. You know? Flips getting right back to this point. Flips in the upper left. And now she knows to wait for that disco. Yep, that disco's gonna cross that gap. She wants to be moving a little bit quickly. Got it, got it. Ah, a little hasty though. A little bit, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, basically like, an air catch is like, I honestly don't, honestly, this is where Cape gets arcane. This is arcane, wizard, witch, non-binary magic user, and mage sort of information here, because the way it works is that you've dive bombed, now you're up against a vertical wall, and you're not dead, you're just rubbing up against that vertical wall, and you're flush with the wall. And then at certain moments that you can't really see, you just have to know the moment, you press forward. And that somehow tricks the game into thinking that you're still ascending, and allows you to just infinitely ascend. If you had a super high one tile gap with a wall like that, and you keep pressing the button at the right moment, you can continually ascend up the gap. And you can even save yourself if you miss one of those timings and you start to fall, you can save yourself and continually do it again. It has to do with the fact that you have 0 speed, as far as I know, but beyond that, I don't know how it works. I just know that there's a right time to press forward, and if you do, it will work. I have done some. I know how to do the air catch, but I do not know why to do the air catch. Only how. Oh, yeah, Roke. It's like a sticky flight on a vertical wall is about the best that I can well, who said it? Gossip Greg. It's the best that Gossip Greg can explain it. It's like a sticky flight on a vertical wall. Where sticky flight being you have dive bombed under a horizontal ceiling and pulled up at just the right moment so the game doesn't actually complete the full rise and sticks you to the ceiling thinking that you're still rising while it waits for the wall to go away. In this case, ceiling. Flips back again at the disco shell. Oh, are we gonna get to see the air catch? Oh ho 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 ho. Not an air catch that time, a very well articulated dive bomb into that channel. So by holding forward while flying, you enter the dive bomb state, and that is for slamming the ground, creating a little bit of a shockwave, and buffing up your enemies. And pulling back to pull out of dive bomb state causes you to get a big rise like that. So that, yeah, like as noted, the timing to get out of that dive is really tricky. That is not the intended strat. I want to be clear that the intended strat for this part is to get the disco shell into that little gap and then bounce off the disco shell to gently rise through there, as we have been doing for most of the level thus far. Flips is just, if that part goes awry, she has tech backup strats that she's trying, which, you know, is good practice, really. The tutorial is even kind enough to warn the player if they dive into the disco shell, it will cause death. That is kind. X-Gamer, though, hey, yo, making some moves as well. Bunky and Roke. Again, we got 4 racers here hanging out, working on this, so, you know, gotta cheer everybody on. I've seen good moves from all the rest of them. Oh, but yeah, Cape, you know, it's comfy. Cape is subtle. It's a whole tech of methodical subtlety. That, I think, is the real key with Cape. Methodical subtlety and precise subtlety. So, it's nice and it's cozy. And chat, I hope that you are feeling cozy on this methodically subtle night. If there's another reason that diving into the disco kills Mario, I mean, on the one hand, you miss the disco entirely, and you die on the death blocks. On the other hand, you're slightly to the side of the disco, and it hits you and kills you. There may be another reason, but those two come to mind. That is true, yeah, well observed. Cape is notably easier on the hands compared to something like a shell level. Yeah, you're doing less inputs than a shell level, or even like just a platform. Your average Dram 3 level has more inputs. You're doing less inputs in a Cape level, but there's more stress on each individual input. Man, I'm sorry, it's cold, shoveling snow. Man, oof. Let me say again, oof. Sometimes I kind of like shoveling snow, but then after like 5 minutes, I don't anymore. You know, I like, as the snow's coming down, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my shovel, I'm gonna go out and shovel the walk. And I'm like really excited for that, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. And then 5 minutes later, I'm just like, okay, this sucks, I don't want to do this anymore. Oh man, I can't stand having cold hands. I can't. I cannot not deal with it. I got hand warmers. I got gloves. If my hands freeze up, I freeze up. I won't deal. It's been kind of it's snowing out here, but it's not accumulating very much. It's just kind of lightly dusting everything. It's not the fun kind of snow. The kind you can make like snowballs with. There's different kinds of snow. Some of you know that intimately, and others maybe not if you live in a warmer area. But there's like sticky snow that kind of sticks together and clumps up really well. You can make snowballs and snowmen out of it. And then there's kind of like dry, dusty snow that you can't really, like, compact it. There's snow that behaves more like wet sand, and there's snow that behaves more like dry sand. Yeah, Gossip Greg, with the big knowledge, thank you. Also, I appreciate that. I think my cape, I don't think I'm a black belt with cape yet. I haven't put in the time, but I think I like to think I know a little bit of cape stuff, but I appreciate having some friends fill in the technical aspects. I'm gonna read that out. The super under the hood reason with the disco shell, why you die when dive bombing the disco shell, is similar to sticky fly and air catch tech. The short version is that once Mario enters a dive, the game remembers that he has a dive stored and really wants to use the big air pump that you normally get when you do a dive bomb. So when you dive bomb into the disco, you bounce off of it, similar to bouncing off the Koopas, but because you're in dive bomb, the game will give you big air from using the dive, and that will put you into the ceiling. Yo, looks like X-Gamer. Hey, I like to see this. Oh, X-Gamer making some moves here. Nicely done. Getting to the blue shell. I think that might be PB. Trying to keep track of everybody's PBs. Bunky as well. Nice, yo, Bunky hitting the block, and there's Roke. All right, so we're seeing everybody getting some good progress in here, getting to the blue shell. You know this is a tough level if you know, if even flips takes more than 5 minutes. Tell you what, man, I really miss, talking about snow, I really miss sled riding. I haven't gotten to ride a sled in so long. But man, when I was a kid, growing up, every winter, man, every winter, all the time, school's out, school's canceled. You wake up in the morning like, yo, there's too much snow and ice, school's canceled. Perfect day to go sledding. I miss that. Heck yeah. Yeah, I grew up in kind of a wooded area. And right across the, kind of in like the lot adjacent to my place, there was like, how they cut a line in the trees to run like a pipeline under the ground. Flips, look out, hold up. Flips in the upper left. Flips at a new spot. Flips. Holy moly, hang on. Flips over here. There is the key, and there is the keyhole. But how we gotta touch the key to the keyhole. This is new, and this is a sight read for Flips. So she is reacting on the fly to this obstacle. Get it? On the fly. Definitely Flips seeing what to do here, but can she articulate this move in one shot? Can we? Yeah, Flips looking hard at this. Oh, yes. Wow. Let's go. Wow, and that is a one shot for the ending. GG, great flying. Unbelievable job. Yeah, Flips one-shotting the end. Amazing. Yeah, lots of good inspirations there. And Ike showing us how it's done with these cape levels. Really like that. Yeah, what, 37. Flips absolutely flying to victory. An easy first place tonight with the 36-38. Her first? Yeah, Flips got 4 completed races, and 3 of those races have been a podium appearance. I want to say they've all been cape levels, but yeah, first tonight for Flips, and really well done. Just showing us how it's done. It's a real treat to see someone who is that incredibly technically proficient at the tech just really blast right through. That was very cool to see. Please do yourselves a favor, go and follow Flips. She is kind and wonderful and very good at what she does. Twitch.tv/flips_bad. Yeah, we can hang out. Let's hang out and see what there's some little extra bonus content here. A little something extra, maybe a moon or something. We can let Flips work on getting that moon, but for her the race has ended. Nice little dives down that little channel. Flips just having fun, showing off a little bit. Well deserved. Meanwhile, ex-gamer Bunky Roke Games working hard here, man. This is kind of like everyone's working hard. I want to celebrate the achievements of everyone working as hard as they do, coming out and trying this really tough level. So, you know, I don't. You're watching good players play against other good players, and sometimes it's like the regular person at the Olympics thing. You know, like you don't notice how good the Olympic athletes are until Doug from down the street tries to do it. But the ex-gamer Bunky and Roke, they are hardly Doug from down the street. Hey, Doug's out here trying his best. Nah, yeah. Doug's trying his best. He works out, you know. Doug works out and plays field hockey on the weekends. He's just not an Olympic athlete. Doug funny? Hey, thank you for the gift sub. All your subs and bits go right back into the ROM Hack Races community, so we can keep bringing you races. And there's an easy moon. Jeez, Flips. Putting Yoshi right up in the ceiling. And Flips with the moon. Yellow there, yeah, yellow Yossi-chan. Chan? Moon. Did anybody else see the super moon recently? That was awesome. It was so big and super. But yeah, man, let's all go sled riding. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a sled. I miss it. I miss sledding. I think there should be more. I think more things should be canceled. Snow used to be awesome when you were a kid, and school might be canceled. You know, like as a kid, you hope it snows. That would be the best thing ever. If it snows a lot, then school's canceled, and then you don't have to go to school. But I think more things should be canceled. You know, like work should be canceled if it snows too much. You know, it's not as fun when you're an adult, right? But we could make it that way. Thank you for the sub, McFly. Snowboarding always looked really fun, and then I tried it like for real like one time. My parents ski, or they used to. They don't ski now. I don't want my parents getting on skis now. Like, Dad, you're gonna bust your knees, man. But I tried snowboarding, like real snowboarding, like one time. And I fell down and the board came up and cut the back of my head, and I never tried it again. That's why, you know, that's one thing about being a teacher, you know. The work might be canceled because of snow. I've never skied in my life. I've literally never skied. I think I would die. Frankly. Frankly, I think I would die. I just want to ride on the inner tube. You know, just the big tire inner tube, sit on that and just cruise down the hill. Do you ski, man? Do you snowboard? Like, nope. Inner tube. Well, makeup days are only if you go to, like, cosmetology school. You know. You know? Yo, X-Gamer, working with some practice. I like this. Yeah, got those practice rooms. That's what they're here for. It's worth noting, Mario bobs his head down, right? You press backwards, you pump, you rise up a little bit. You can be more or less accurate with that. You can gain more or less height depending on how quickly you respond. If you're late to press back, you get less height. If you're good, if your timing is on time and you're very good, you get more height. And that's just another aspect of subtlety. And the spaghetti. What's your favorite warm wintertime food and why is it a big bowl of spaghetti? After a long day on the slopes, we like to come home and have some of Mama's favorite spaghetti. There is much vast minutiae. It is all around us, at every moment. It's right here in the room with us. Is the vast minutiae in the room with us right now? Yes. Yo, Bunky. Hey, look out. Yo, Bunky down here at the bottom of your screen on a good run right now. Hey, so, sorry, didn't mean to curse. Did not mean to commentator curse. I've always had a severe problem with the fact that it's called chili, but it's hot. I've like, ever since I was a kid, I've been like mad about that. You know? I just don't approve. Like, what's that? It's a chili pepper. It's really hot, watch out. Like, shut up. You shut up. Quit lying to me. Here's a fun cape fact for you. The early 90s Prima strategy guide for Super Mario World actually mentions the cape turnaround as a possible move you can do. They also note that it only works about half the time, which I thought was pretty interesting that they actually managed to determine that. Which in true vanilla cape fashion, it is a 50-50 whether or not you get the turnaround. But yeah, the 90s Prima strategy guide does mention if you switch Y and X in the air, you'll flip your cape and get a turnaround. And I just think that's neat. I think it's neat that they knew that. Is that because of a frame rule? Yes? Question mark? I want to say yes, but I'm not 100%. I think that is true. Is it every 4 frames? Okay. Yeah, so 4 frame rule. I get partial credit. Global frame timer that swaps every 4 frames, yeah. Why does the feather give a cape? Because birds have feathers, and birds fly, and the cape flies. Oh, Umar, yo, thank you for the info. Yeah, so the 4 frame is not global, but at the start of a level. Use it to do some consistent camera manips in speedruns. That's awesome. Very interesting. I'm also learning. Yeah, this is nice. I always really appreciate the cape players. Cape players are very knowledgeable and also very helpful. I've never in my life met a cape player who gatekeeps the secrets of the craft, and I appreciate that from all of you. Well, and also, because birds have feathers, and bats are birds, and Batman has a cape. So, jingle bells, Batman smells. I think also just, you know, from a practical game design standpoint, the feather telegraphs easily. That's true, yeah, Batman is a bird, which is why he has hollow bones, which is why Bane could break the bat. Yes, 100%. This is all, I see you also have read the deep lore of the Batman comics. So you too will know that Batman smells. I mean, if Batman and Robin weren't birds, how could Robin have laid an egg? I'm just saying, you know, Batmobile lost its wheel, Joker got away. But I do think, I mean, the feather telegraphs pretty well, and I think it's like because birds fly and birds have feathers, and you get a magic feather and get a cape and you can fly. I feel like that's why a roll of cloth wouldn't telegraph so well. How do you telegraph cape? You know, it gives you a cape. Although if you look in the designs, remember that Giga leak that happened a long time ago? Look in the designs for that, and you'll see some. There were like other ideas for flying Mario power up. It seems before they settled on cape. Everybody knows that Jingle Bell's about Batman, but nobody knows where it came from. It was just one of those ubiquitous things that, like, on the playground, you know, in 3rd grade, you just heard someone singing it, and you're like, oh, that's so funny, huh? And then it's just, everyone just kind of knows it. And as far as I know, it's always Batman who smells, but I also think Batman does probably smell. Like, I think that's probably true, right? I think Batman smells. You want to know how I got these Christmas presents? My father was a very jolly man, and he came home one night. He said, "Why so serious? Have a toy." And then he gave me these. That's my horrible Heath Ledger Joker impression. I'm sorry. I'll never do that again. I promise. I think if you say someone smells, that usually means bad. You know, like, I've never gone up to someone that smelled good. Like, I don't know, like, like my wife. Like, she, you know, she's wearing some perfume or something, and she smells nice. But I'll never just go up to her and give her a hug and be like, "You smell," and expect her to think that means you smell nice. You know, like, you smell is always usually has has negative connotations exclusively. Yeah, but I never am saying that either. I'm never just like, "Hey, you smell," like I would be saying to someone, "Hey, you hear," and they'd be like, "I hear what?" And I'm like, no, that's just the thing you do. You hear. I like that, Tupu. Yeah, let's make it. Let's change that. Let's make it positive. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go after the race. I'm gonna go give my wife a hug and be like, "You smell." No. We're taking it back. It's positive now. It means you smell good. What's that? I'm just thinking from The Simpsons where Homer yells out, "Hey Flanders, you stink!" And Flanders just goes, "Whoa, thanks for the nose news, neighbor." Hey, you smell good. Chat, what's your favorite smell? What's your favorite smell? Batman? Is it Batman? I have this candle here. I don't know why, I don't know who sent me this, but someone on stream sent me this and I really appreciate it. I'm holding it in my hand right now. I keep it by my desk exactly where I need it. It's a candle from the last Blockbuster on the planet in Bend, Oregon, and it smells like a Blockbuster. You open it up and you smell the candle and it smells like movie theater popcorn, freshly vacuumed carpet, and just a little bit of plastic, like from the VHS cases. I swear, man, this candle smells exactly like a VHS rental store. And I keep it right by my desk where I need it. Sometimes when I'm feeling blue, I just take a little smell, and it makes me happy again. That's one of my favorite smells. It's, you know, it really does suck that petrol is a good smell. It's like just like little ways that the universe mocks us, you know? Just little ways that we get mocked. Skyline chili. Coffee in the morning. Lilacs, that's a good one. Lilacs is a good smell. When I was a kid, my mom had a lilac bush in the front yard, and it always smelled really nice when I'd go out and play. You know what else I like? I like the very confusing smell of like the Bath and Body Works store at the mall. You know? It's like every smell. Like you go in there and it's just so confusing because it's all the perfumes and all the soaps and everything all together. I kind of like it. It's like noise rock but for your nose. Wet dry world. Wait, I don't. What is the WDW? I don't know the acronym. Oh, Walt Disney World. Oh, never been. But apparently they do. Yeah, now that you mention it, apparently they do like pump in odors at certain points to make you think things, to mind control you in order to buy more Mickey ears. Most of what I know about Disney World comes from watching Jenny Nicholson videos. I'm not even kidding. Like 85 to 95% of my knowledge about Disney World comes exclusively from Jenny Nicholson videos. Exclusively. I've never had the money. But I watched that whole entire Star Wars hotel video. Oh yeah, Defunctland. Yeah, also, yeah, I do like Defunctland. That is true. I see you also have good taste in YouTube. Have you watched the new Defunctland about the animatronics? That was really interesting. It's like the second part of their series. They did one long video about Disney creating the Abraham Lincoln animatronic, and then they did just recently they put out the second part about like all the more modern animatronics. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, we like Defunctland. I really like learning about this is off topic, but Electric Light Park, the park that basically inspired Disney World, like way back in the day. I forget if it was like, I don't know if it was Coney Island in New York or whatever, but it was like, Defunctland has a great episode about it. Watch the one about Electric Light Park, because it is just the most hilariously old-timey stuff. The fact that electric lighting was a feature, was like an attraction. Come to our park and see our amazing electric light bulbs, the marvel of the future. Now, here today at your very own Electric Light Park. The rides were super dangerous. Nothing was like safety tested. You could like buy alcohol. It's just the most hilariously old-timey park that I've ever heard of in my life. Like, wow, things were really like hardcore and dangerous back in the day. Like, you bet they were, Buster. Come on down to Electric Light Park. It's the action park of the early 1900s. Yo, Flips, thank you so much for the raid. Great job, Flips, great job. That was very impressive. Not only did you absolutely rip up the level, fly right through it, but you had some great moves and some really cool saves along the way. We were oohing and ahhing the entire time. Please drop a follow for our friend Flips. She is one of the best Cape players out there, period. We're just talking about old theme parks and smells and whether or not Batman smells. Hanging out here with Roke, X-Gamer, and Bunky D. Luffy, cheering on our friends through this very challenging Cape level. Looking for second place on the podium tonight. Man, if I'd never seen an escalator before, I'd be stoked about that also. Come down to Electric Light Park, ride the really dangerous loop-de-loop roller coaster, and stand on the escalator. Pretty soon you'll find yourself transported up to the top of a small hill. It's amazing, ladies and gentlemen. You know what else is a cool... we're talking about theme parks now, it's just making me think. You know what else is a really cool story? The story of the creation, the invention of the Ferris wheel. That's a cool story to learn about. And for me, there's a little bit of local pride because some of the components for the first Ferris wheel were made in Pittsburgh, Steel Town. The first Ferris wheel is gnarly, actually. They wanted I think, okay, if I got my story right, a recent World's Fair had shown off the Eiffel Tower. This was back when the Eiffel Tower first came out, and everyone was like, wow. And I think it was in, was it Chicago? There was a U.S. World's Fair. The U.S. was to host the World's Fair, and they wanted a unique attraction to show off, you know, to be like, look at our cool thing we have at our American World Fair. And, no one really came up with anything, and finally they went with this dude Ferris. That was actually his name. It was Ferris's wheel. And so he builds it, like, it's interesting to think about because, like, Ferris wheels are so commonplace. We've seen them, we know about them, you know, oh yeah, that's just an old-time thing that exists. But imagine if you had never seen that before. So he builds this, like, absolutely monstrous cacophony of a thing, and no one thinks this is gonna work. Everyone is like, this is the stupidest idea. Why are we wasting our time with this? It looks dangerous. It looks unsafe. It's made, the motor is huge. The steel beams are gigantic. Why would anyone want to do this? This is so dumb. And they're grumbling about this as they're like, then the fair opens and they go in and suddenly everyone is just so excited. Suddenly they love the Ferris wheel, and it's like the coolest thing. It's like that meme where the bird is angry and then it bites the cracker and then it's very, very happy. That was every person everywhere with regard to the Ferris wheel. Oh, this is so stupid. This will never work. This will fall over. I'd never go for a ride in something so weird and unsafe. Wait, this is awesome. I'm up so high. Whee! Look at me. People got married on the Ferris wheel. The carriages held like tons of people originally. The first Ferris wheel was enormous. Like a huge, incredible, silly, old-timey, one of those giant old-time projects that would, like, definitely kill you. But it didn't. Nobody got hurt on the Ferris wheel, and it became a massive success. And now we have Ferris wheels all over the place. And I think that's just cool. You know, just be a dreamer. You know, this guy Ferris is just like, had this cool idea for a ride and kept going with it when everyone thought this is ridiculous. And got hundreds of people to assemble the giant cacophony of steel and beams and motors just to make something that takes you up in the air. Like, imagine being able to go up into the sky and look at the tops of houses. And everyone was like, wow, it's amazing. I've never done that before. Yeah, for its time. That's what I think is fascinating. For its time, the Ferris wheel was an absolutely unhinged idea. And everyone was like, this is ridiculous. Why would we do this? Like, and I just think that's fun, you know? There's just something real fun about that. You know? It's just fun. I like it. So in conclusion, Batman smells. We're down to 2. We got Bunky D. Luffy hanging out here with us. X-Gamer 2009. Working hard on this tough level. Oh yeah, no, you know, I'd like to learn the history of the carousel also. Old-time carousels were neat. There was an art gallery nearby my town that had some very old carousel horses in the lobby that were like really cool to see because they're like really intricately carved and hand carved and painted. Hey Roke, you know what? You came out, you tried. That is perfectly fine. Completely understand. Thank you for racing with us tonight. You all win. Chat, give it up for Roke. Drop a follow for our friend, and I'm sure you can get it. This is just a tough thing, and you know, we're all here working hard, doing our best. Yeah, Ferris wheel's just a carousel that got flipped 90 degrees. I know, Johnson. What if we take a carousel and rotate it 90 degrees so you fly up into the air? Ferris, you fool! No one will ever want to ride one of those things. Who would ever want to ride such a thing? Let's see. That sounds like something they'd have on Futurama. I mean, maybe it could be both flips. That would be okay if it was both. You know, that would be okay. I just want more chances to use my old-timey accent. The makers of Da Vinci's Fancy Yellow Mustard proudly present a big wheel that flies up in the air. That's right, now you too can get into a little car and stand there and ride up into the sky. Have you ever wanted to look at several of the roofs of the buildings in your neighborhood all at once? Well, now you can, friends, for the low cost of only 2 cents. That's a lot of money in these times. You too can look at all the roofs in town and then gracefully ride back to the ground. I like H.G. You know what? I like that. I like that sci-fi from H.G. Wells. It's funny because that's such like a cartoony kind of hackneyed way to explain that, but like that's exactly what they would do on Futurama. You know, one is great literature and one is a cartoon. But you know, like the professor would invent that on Futurama, like, well, this is a sideways bike and it goes through time. Like, how does that work? Like, shut up, you. It just works. Oh yeah. The body swapping episode of Futurama in particular invented like a new like mathematical theorem to make it work. Well, while we're hanging out here at the top of the hour, it looks like we got Bunky working hard. I just want to say thank you again. Touch base a little bit here with everybody and say thank you again for being a part of ROM Hack Races tonight. If you want to get a little bit more, you can go to romhackraces.com, download this patch, plus any of the other patches that we've had for any of our other levels. A big ROM Hack Race thank you to IkeSMB for making this level. Go and follow Ike. He is a talented Kaizo player, talented Monkey Ball player, and a really nice person all around. Ike is great. Thank you so much, Ike, for this one. Really fun level, and thank you tonight for making. Of course, Electronic Logic, nice to see you again, by the way. And Gossip Greg, thank you so much for testing this one throughout the week for us. Starlord, What's Up Dot, and Captain Blueprint, scouting. Easy job tonight, but thank you still to the volunteers for making this possible. And of course, nice to see you again as well, Osu Mario Kartman. Thank you for restreaming tonight, pressing the buttons, giving up a little bit of your time. Want to mention again, as we get closer to the end of the year, we've got a couple more races coming up, but ROM Hack Races will be taking a little bit of a hiatus starting in January. We are not ending, we are not stopping, we are just taking a little bit of a hiatus so that staff can get a little break, regroup, re-discuss some things, and come back super strong before you know it. So don't give up, because we will be back next week with another race, and we're still going to have the race of the year coming up after a little while. But just thank you as well to you in chat for hanging out and being a part of this, for making ROM Hack Races a little part of your Saturday night. Go and follow the racers. There are a lot of great people playing Kaizo in our community, and I'm sure they would love to see you drop by. You are one click away from a great stream and a great friend. Follow Ike, follow Bunky, follow Flips, follow everyone you've seen tonight. And there is so much Kaizo, man. There's so much great Kaizo all across the board. So thanks for being around. Thanks for being a part of it. If we are down to just Bunky, we are going to, we're going to go ahead and throw the raid over. We can watch them on their channel and cheer them on in their chat. Maybe drop a follow. Flips, you did so well. I just want to say it was very cool to see you run this one, and you did very, very well. So thank you for showing off the skills tonight. Ike, thank you again for making. That was very, very cool and very fun. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're watching Bunky over here, but we could go and watch Bunky on their own channel. So drop a follow, go and cheer them on in chat. Bunky is going to be working on this as long as they want. We can record clears late, and we'll see y'all again next week. Thank you for being a part of this. I hope you smell good. You matter. Your thoughts matter, your heart matters, your feelings matter, you matter to other people in your lives, you matter to me as human beings, you matter to the internet's #1, a long boy Furret, and the people that matter to you in your lives would love to hear from you about that. We know Black Lives Matter, LGBTQIA+ lives matter, Indigenous lives matter, disabled, autistic, and plural lives matter, and you smell great. So keep smelling great, and we will see you all around again. For my community friends, I will see you all on Monday. But I'll probably catch you around the Kaizo community on Twitch this week, and catch you all again. Have a really great night, everybody. Peace.